Hello and welcome to Justin Talks Villa live on Monday night. A little bit later than usual for my good friend Garry Thompson, who I've just spoken to, and he's literally just walked in the house from hot-footing it over from the WM studios, where he's been on air for 2 hours with Daz Hale, talking about the transfer window and everything. So he is due to join me ASAP. So I thought I'd just start and get everybody up to date with what's going to happen today. It's going to be a little bit different from the usual Monday night phone-ins because there's going to be a lot to talk about. And I want to get as many people phoning in as I possibly can, because I think it's important to get it out there, to talk between us, to get all the frustrations out of the way. It's been a very, very long month. Here he is, the man himself. He's just messing with his camera. Hey!
Oh, big fella, how you doing?
All right, guys. You are live on YouTube to the nation, Garry. How are you?
I'm good. How's everybody?
Hopefully you're doing well, mate. Thanks ever so much for hot-footing it across town to join me on the phone-in tonight. How did it go, WM?
Yeah, it went pretty well. It flew by, to be fair, which is always a good sign that things have gone well. But yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, 2 hours, wasn't it? Crikey. I think there's a lot to talk about that, weren't there, guys?
That was an awful lot of transfers. Is that right? Mark Gay things fell through.
Yes, apparently so. Yeah. It's gone. Yeah. It's very strange for them to pull out at this point, anyway.
Yeah, out of everyone, he's conducted himself really well. He's played all the games. He's not thrown his toys out the pram as well, and then his deal falls through. Sad that, but I suppose he's pretty transfer at the end of the season.
From Palace's point of view, can't you? Because they didn't get any time really to bring another player in, could they?
Yeah. So but I mean,
he's out of contract.
By the way, that was some goal he scored last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it weren't bad, was it? just a nice little leaving gift, I thought, to the Palace fans, but absolute nightmare. Right, we'll have a quick chat with you, Gaz, and then we'll get the phone lines open and get some fans on, and we can have a chat with them as well. Right. So what did you think of the Palace game then, as the game, just as a standalone game?
First 10 minutes, I thought we looked a lot like our old self. We looked like we were going to take the game to Palace a little bit. They couldn't get out of their half. But all of a sudden, we seemed like we took a bit of a breather. They got more and more possession. They got better. They got the goal, and all of a sudden, it was the same game that we've seen against Palace the last 3 or 4 times. We do try and attack. They catch us on the counter. They get the second goal, and it was all done and dusted by then. I think Unai said that he felt we'd done well. I still felt that we're still a little bit off how we should be. I don't think we did particularly well at all.
No, I think I've just brought these statistics up from the game, and I show this one quite a lot, Garry. This is the momentum bar here, which shows you the momentum of the game, and Villa are on the top. And we've dominated this momentum bar in every game this season, yet we've been on the wrong end of every single result. So why do you think we are dominating possession, but our final third output is so poor this season?
I think that, people were saying about Ollie Watkins and he missed a chance and all that. Yes, he had one chance and maybe a little half chance as well. Like, I don't feel we're giving him enough chances. I think we have a lot of possession, but a lot of the possession doesn't really go anywhere. We'll go square and back a lot of the time. Every now and again, we'll try and ram it into Morgan Rogers and get himself on the half turn, but we don't do it often enough. And therefore, when Morgan gets it or one of the forward-thinking players get it, then we can release Ollie Watkins. But we don't really do it with any real venom about it. We don't move the ball at any pace, and it's very easy to play against us. I think for an organised side like Palace, if we move the ball slowly, they can get themselves into shape pretty quickly. The idea is you watch Everton, the way they play at the minute, and with Jack now looking like he's enjoying his football again. Everton move the ball and maybe starts on the right hand side. All of a sudden, there's a long diagonal quickly out to Jack on the left hand side. He picks the ball up. He can do it. He's got space and time to do his thing. Start running at people. You start forcing players back because they have to double up on him then, and all of a sudden that opens space for other people. We do everything very, very slowly at the minute. And I know Unai was always wanting complete control, and he always wanted to move the ball and pierce the opposition. And when we do score a goal like that, it looks wonderful. But I just feel it's a bit slow at the minute. I think we need to up the tempo a bit and be more direct.
This brings me on to my next point. That player for us is Morgan Rogers, and he's been so far off it this season. I mean, I know they were all muted yesterday, I think, because of what had gone on in the day with the Emiliano Martinez thing, which we will talk about. I think everybody just felt really flat, and like he's the man that we look to now to channel everything through. He runs with the ball, people bounce off him, everything seems to go through him. But at the moment, we can't seem to get him in the game enough.
Now, we can't get him in the game. We can't find him to get the ball to him a lot of the time. He seems a little bit, whereas, as you say, people are bouncing off him. He was strong, he was powerful, he was hungry. Now he just looks a little bit, I didn't say sulking and that. He just looks like he's he's just off a few degrees off what he had been. And all of a sudden, like, we are now suffering because of it. I remember him saying when he first came to the club, and I kept saying, take your man on, win your duels. If you lose the ball, get the ball again and run at your man again. And he doesn't seem to want it, doesn't seem to do it as much now. Like, but I believe that will come back. I believe, I was saying earlier, we're off it. We are off it at the minute. We're not the side that most people expect to see Aston Villa to be like, but it doesn't take that much to get back on track, as it were. Like, we might have slipped a few degrees and it's not been working out, but we will get back on it, and it won't take a lot. And once we start, we should be fine. But we just need. We had the Philip of Rashford and Asensio coming in after Christmas last year, and maybe we just need that again just to get the thing going again, because it just seems a little bit flat.
So we'll just quickly move on to the business that's been done today. Now, the Sancho and Elliott deals haven't been confirmed yet, but I believe that basically all the paperwork is in.
Yeah,
and it's literally just a matter now of the clubs just basically announcing the deal. So, what do you make of today's business? I know the Lindelof one sort of broke yesterday, but for me, it seems like a prudent signing. I know it's not it's not a. What's the word I'm looking for, guys? It's not a flare signing. It's not.
It's not a nice shiny one. Like, we've got a Lindelof. He's an experienced player. He's got a load of international caps. I was just saying earlier, I think he could be what we need as an experienced player, just to calm everything down, or calm players down a little bit. He's not going to play all the time. He's there as cover, I would imagine. If he can get a run in the team, great. But it's just nice to have a calming influence and a different voice in there. Like, we've got the same bodies in there that we've had for a little while. I just think it's good to get someone of Lindelof's experience. And I don't believe he's going to play that many games, as it were. Like, but it's good to have him in there. Sancho, I think I've been saying earlier, I think he's a wonderful footballer, potentially a great footballer. But how can I put this? People talk about Sancho and they'll go, oh, he's on 300 grand a week or 200 grand a week or whatever. And no one ever says this is a wonderful footballer, but he's never really shown it consistently. He's managed to get England caps, but you always look at him and you always feel there's more there. We can get more out of him. Maybe Unai's the man to get this player out, because there is a footballer in there. He went to the wrong club for me, in my mind, to Man United. He goes to Dortmund. He seems to click. The 2 times he's been at Dortmund, he worked out beautifully. And maybe the athleticism of the Premier League might be too much for him, but he's a talented kid. And if anyone can get the tune out of him, Unai could be that man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be looking for Unai to replicate what he did with Rashford, really, with Sancho. And like you saying, you're right to say, the Dortmund move twice for him has been outstanding, and he links up again with Marlon and Maatsen. So that could be just what he needs, an arm around him. Go and play, son. Go and express yourself. Big pitch at Villa Park, as you know. And then the Elliott one, I just like anyway. I think he's a really good young player, right age. He's ready now to be a starter somewhere. And I think, we could give him a really big platform at Villa to kick on in his career. And I think the money at the end of the season, I mean, I'll give up now trying to work out where all this money's going and can we do this, can we do that? I've just got to trust the club. They know what they're doing. And I think for 35 million quid, you can barely get a top-class right back for that amount these days. So I think that's...
As you say, average players now going for 30, 40, 50 million quid. And you're thinking, well, that's special. Harvey Elliott is the talent. And like, he's always been a talent when he's at Fulham. He's gone to Liverpool. You're looking at him now, and he just needs, as you say, he needs games. He's gone to he's in a Liverpool squad where he's never going to play enough football. He's now got a chance under Unai to get games under his belt, and that way he can blossom. He's played for England over the summer, and he was the star man, wasn't he? He was different class. He just needs the chance to flourish a little bit, playing with better players, and he could give the players here the boost that they probably need to get their careers going, but get themselves buzzing again, because sometimes a new player comes in, gets you going. You go, hello, we've got something different here. And it was the same with Asensio and Rashford. 2 good players come in, all of a sudden good players want to show they're good players as well. I think Harvey Elliott is exactly the same.
I mean, both similar sort of profiles to Asensio and Rashford. Obviously, different types of players slightly, but same positions and both flair players. We'll just touch on one more thing before, because the phone's starting to go mad already, Tomo. where do you stand? I've done a little bit of a joke there with Emiliano Martinez and the dunce he's at, because he's in the naughty corner now, Tom.
Yeah.
He seems to have been angling for this move all summer. He sort of made his play last night. The big play was, I don't feel like my head's right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the move. I wouldn't have thought he'd have done what he'd done if he didn't think that move was going to materialise. So he's been left a little bit high and dry now by what's happened. So what? I mean, he's got to be reintegrated. There's no question about that. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever been in a dressing room when somebody's sort of done a similar thing? How do you envisage that going now?
Footballers are very, very resilient and adaptable. So, like, the dressing room will be strong. The dressing room normally just takes a mickey out of whatever happens. Yeah. So he'll come back in the dressing room, lads on back. He will take some serious stick. But then after that, players just move on. Because if he's back into the fold, I think someone was phoning earlier and saying about maybe apologising. There's no way he's going to apologise. It looked like he was trying to force through a move to Man United to better himself and his family. You can understand it in wanting to do that. Maybe the way it was done wasn't particularly palatable, but it didn't work out. And all of a sudden, he's got to come back into a group of lads that will, if it's a dressing room like I know, he will get ripped to death. But then they'll move on. As long as he's working hard, training hard, playing hard, and being half the Martinez that we've seen over the last few years. And I felt last year he was slightly below what he had been. But before that, he was different class. If we can get anywhere back to them levels, we've got a top-class keeper there. And if he comes back into the fold, I know people are talking about Turkey. He might be able to move over there. But if
we're not going to go now, are we? Because we can't do any more business, can we?
No.
So we'd be left absolutely by the window if that happens. I think if he comes back, he shows willing.
Yeah, exactly.
4 or 5 really good games where he's back to anywhere near what he was. Then, we just want to see him at his best, and if we've got
fans love redemption. They love the fact that he's gone. He's coming back into the fold. If he's half the keeper he was, and he shows he's willing, fans forgive him pretty quickly.
Absolutely right. I'm going to connect to the phone, Gaz. I hope you're ready for this now. This is it's literally got about 13 missed calls already. Right. First caller, and hopefully you'll be able to hear, Gaz. This is the first time I've attempted it with a guest. So just let me know, make sure you can hear it as well. Hello. Who's this?
Justin and Simon.
How you doing, Simon? Gary, just hold on a sec. Can you hear Simon, Gary?
Yeah, I can hear Simon, yeah.
Smashing. Right. Simon is a regular caller, Gary.
Right.
And I'll fill you in. First one I did of these, he told me we were going to finish 12th. And he took a bit of stick. I gave him a bit of stick. And he phoned me up the week after. He said, I still think we're going to struggle. And I'm pretty sure he's phoning me up tonight to reiterate. Yeah. So, Simon, tell me how right you were.
I was right. But can I first say hello to Bruno and thank him for all the good memories that he's given me when he was playing for Aston Villa.
It was a pleasure, Simon. It was an absolute pleasure. I played for the club I supported. I was absolutely delighted to do that.
Gary, I wanted you to be the Black Peter With. It didn't quite work out. I'm still grateful for what you've done.
No problem. I wouldn't have minded. Peter With was a top class player. I think I was a little bit quicker than him, but apart from that, Withy was different gravy.
Anyway, first the Crystal Palace game. I've got quite a lot to say.
Go on,
I'm going to run by the Palace game. Last week, I told you Crystal Palace would turn up at Aston Villa with pace, power and passion. And that's what they did. And that's what Aston Villa were lacking. We had no pace on the ball. We had no power and we had no passion whatsoever, which, since the Man U game last season, that's been missing for quite a long while. But after seeing that Palace game, I suddenly thought the Villa could get relegated.
So you've downgraded now, Simon, from 12th to relegation?
No, something has changed my mind today.
Oh, please tell me.
The signing of Harvey Elliott.
Brilliant. Yes, you're happy with that then?
Harvey Elliott is a player with energy and enthusiasm for the game. The kid is going to be a big winner. And for the money that Villa are going to pay for him, I think it's a snip.
Where do you see him playing, Simon?
Sort of right centre, attacking right centre.
Tomo, would you agree? Because I've just looked at his profile and he can play in the I don't think he will. But he can play in the 6, which he doesn't really. His stature isn't really a 6, is it? I'm sure he's
not
got
really.
a way good enough to play there. But 8, 10, or off the right with his left foot. Where do you see him slotting in?
Like on the right hand side, I think, coming
Right
on the left foot, and I think he's got a wonderful left foot. He's got great ability. He covers ground as well, and he has got the odd goal in him as well. I think he's a talented kid, and I think he will add to what we've got. Gassan looked a little bit off it yesterday, just finding his feet, as it were. But the one thing about him, I was watching him yesterday, and I saw him the other day. He chases back, he works hard, he does the horrible side of it as well. And so, if we got players to do that, then I don't think we'll finish maybe mid-table. No, I would say 8th or 9th, the way things are looking, depending on how Elliott goes on and that. But I think we'll be okay.
So you're saying Elliott off the right, Sancho off the left.
Elliott's cracking signing. Jadon Sancho is a financial disaster, paying 80% of this bloke's wages, who's been a flop in English football, and Chelsea paid £5 million to send him back. We should have used the money to much better, find somebody better than that.
I'll just throw one thing at you, Simon, as a bit of a sort of comeback. A lot of people said exactly the same thing about Marcus Rashford when we signed him in January. Do you think he was a flop?
No, but Marcus Rashford was proven quality in this country. Jadon Sancho, since he's been in this country, has really struggled.
Tomo?
Jadon Sancho at Man City is a gem. Pep loves him. And when Jadon Sancho decides he wants to leave because he needs to play football, regular football, he ends up going to Germany. He clicks in Germany. It works out really well for him. He gets his move to Man United. He goes to the wrong club, in my opinion. Yeah. The athleticism and physicality of the Premier League was obviously too much for him, but he's going to be judged then. He comes to Manchester United. He's judged on the money they've spent on him and the wages he's getting paid. So he's going to hide into nothing. This is a lot like the Rashford situation, where Sancho's reputation, not in the gutter, but people are looking at him and thinking, oh, he's overpaid, he's overpriced. What's he got? This is a great opportunity for redemption to show what a good player he can be. So I think we don't lose an awful lot by getting him. I'm interested to see the Jadon Sancho experiment, because I think potentially he could be a good player. Worries me the fact that Dortmund's the only place it's really kicked off well for him, but also I can see the reasons why it hasn't, because the clubs he's been at, he was never going to be a success. He was never going to get the chance he needs. But hopefully under Unai, we can improve the kid.
I think you make some good points there. And I think the two clubs where I think you're alluding to, Simon, is Chelsea and Man United. Both of those clubs were in absolute disarray. I mean, United have been a disaster zone for a long time. And when he went to Chelsea, like they're doing now, they just seem to sign about 20 players a summer. And then everybody's thrown into that pot and nobody can really stick their head above water. They've done it again. They've got Garnacho here. Where they're playing Garnacho, they've got Neto. They've got all these players that are going to just be, floating around the training ground, not knowing if they're playing every week. At Villa, he's going to get an arm around him. He's going to get that position on the left, I think. He's basically going to take Ramsey's role and he's going to say, go and do it. He's 25 now. He's not going to get that many more chances to play at a top club. So this is his chance. We've got to give him a chance, Simon, haven't we?
We have got to give him a chance, but bear in mind, my predictions normally aren't too bad. So I'm going to say he's going to be a flop.
Okay. Simon says he's going to be a flop. Where do you stand on the Emiliano Martinez? Oh, Lindelof, go on.
A free signing, an experienced centre-half, 31 years of age. I know he doesn't play on the left-hand side, but he's miles better than that donkey Pau Torres. I mean, you say he's a good player, but he couldn't pass wind, mate. And he cost us a goal last week, and he cost us a goal yesterday because he can't head the ball. The bloke's a donkey, mate. I'm sorry. You're not having it, but that's
I'm not having it. Tomo, I've had my say on Pau Torres. I think he's a great footballer. He might not be the most physical centre-half we've got, but he was brought in to do a job at Villa and be that ball-playing centre-half. Where do you stand?
The way Unai wants us to play, we come out from the back, we play out from the back, and Pau Torres is ideal for that. The only problem is Pau Torres has come to a league where it's based a lot on athleticism and physicality, and Pau Torres does not have an awful lot of that. He's not very quick, and he's not particularly strong. You put him up against the likes of Mateta, he will always struggle. But with the ball at his feet, he can carry the ball, he can link the play, and he can build attacks, which is what Unai wants. And so in certain games, he'll be perfect. In other games, you'd go definitely have Tyrone Mings in there.
Which is why Mings started against Palace, which
Yeah.
is the mistake he made in the semi-final.
Exactly.
Well, Gaz, he's costing us a goal a game. That's a lot to keep catching up every time he plays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the stats of goal a game. I know, like most defenders and ball playing defenders, they will make mistakes and goals will come off the back of that. But I think Pau Torres, when he first came, was a breath of fresh air. He was just exactly what we needed because we wanted to play out from the back. Now, the way we play, it's been a bit predictable. People know how we're going to play, and maybe we're just going to have to adapt what we're trying to do a little bit. Maybe move the ball a little bit quicker because it's easy to play against at the minute. And Pau Torres can help in that respect because he's very, very good on the ball.
And Lindelof is
Bruno, can I ask you one question?
Go on.
Yeah, sure.
Simon?
Can you tell me 2 or 3 of the best centre-halves you played with?
I played with, I would say, one of the best centre halves. Most people have heard of him. A kid called Gary Gillespie. We bought him from Falkirk for 100 grand.
He went to Liverpool eventually, Gaz.
Yeah. He was started at Coventry, went to Liverpool, came back to Coventry. We used to call him the poor man's Alan Hansen. He went to Liverpool. He never really got in because Alan Hansen was so good. He still played for his country and all that, but he was a wonderful footballer. A bit light of Pau Torres. He was very, very thin, very elegant, but carried the ball really well. Good feet, could link the play. Good player, Gary Gillespie. Great defender. One of the other defenders, I would say the John Wall and Ali Robertson partnership was absolutely rock solid. They knocked hell out of me on a regular basis. It was like throwing yourself up against a brick wall. And I'd say Miller and Roberts, they were tasty as well. I mean, most teams you played in that era, there was Alan Evans and them. They were always a partnership, Evans and McNaught, and they just knock hell out of you. In fact, most of the people I played against, they used to knock the hell out of me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me.
Get one of them faces, didn't you? I think.
Yeah.
Think about
That's
this.
the defenders I've grown up with.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can understand what you're saying because when he first came, Unai, it used to drive me mad because we just keep the ball and we never go anywhere. I just go forward, but I can see. We get educated into playing a different way. I just feel now we've got to take it on another level and we've got to move the ball a bit quicker and cause problems in doing it a bit quicker because it's a bit too pedestrian how we do it and easy to defend against.
Yeah, the thing is with Villa's build-up play, it takes so slow. It's so easy to defend against. 10 people get behind the ball like they did at Brentford. And like Crystal Palace, they get behind the ball so easily and just pick Villa off on the break.
Well, most teams know that Villa move the ball so slowly. If they get one chance and get themselves a goal in front, if they've got proper organisation, the chances are Villa are going to struggle to break them down unless it's a set piece or something. So therefore, they just need to nick one goal. Palace nicked the first. Whoever got the first goal last night was likely to win the game. Palace got the first goal, and it just was a replay of the last 4 or 5 times we played Palace because we then try and sack them. They catch us on the counter, they score. All of a sudden, we're chasing the game. The game's done and dusted. And that will keep happening over the season because teams will watch how Palace have done it against us, and they'll say, "Oh, we'll do the same thing."
Lovely. Right, Simon, thanks for the call, mate.
Nice one, Simon.
All right, speak to you soon.
Take it easy.
Ta-da.
Right, that's Simon, who's generally the first call of the night every time we do this, which is fair enough. But yeah, if you do want to phone up and ask Gary a question, then please feel free to do that. The phone line is now free. Don't forget you can phone on WhatsApp as well. I've just seen a really interesting comment here, guys. What do you think of this? What about moving Pau to defensive midfielder in the 6? Do you think he could play there?
When Tyrone Mings come back from injury, start of this season, Unai said something along the lines of, it might be the end of that season.
Go on, carry on.
He said at last, with Tyrone Mings coming back, we can play Pau Torres in the position we bought him to play in. And obviously then, we were all like, what position is that? Because we were trying to, he ain't going to play left back because he's not quick enough to play left back or left wing back. So it has to be, he was going to have him either the sweeper or he's going to be defensive midfield player with Kamara. And I can see him doing that one.
Yeah, or we could, I don't think we will, but maybe even switch to a back 3, possibly at some point. I don't know. Right, sorry, who's this?
James.
All right, James. How are you? You all right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good
Just
lad.
got back from work.
How have
we
you?
definitely signed all them 3.
The the Lindelof one has definitely gone through, and as far as I'm aware, the paperwork is in for the other two. So I think it's just a matter of them saying it's done, and then I think Villa will announce either later tonight or first thing in the morning.
Great news. I couldn't see any of it at work, so the first time I'm hearing it.
Fancy having to work on transfer deadline day. Disgraceful, innit, guys? Should have had the day off.
Well,
sat in front of the telly with a pint.
It took my mind off yesterday, last night.
Go on then. What did you think of the game yesterday?
Well, it's just playing Palace, isn't it? They seem to have got our number, and I think the whole football club as fans as well. Just because we're playing Palace, we're going to get beat. So if we go with that mentality, we get beat.
What do you think about that, Gary? I mean, you must have played against teams that were the old bogey team. So did you have that in your day when you come up against a team that you just couldn't beat? For whatever happens, you just couldn't beat them.
Yeah, I mean, in my day, it wasn't as much tactical, but now you look at it, it's very, very tactical. As soon as we know the Palace game's coming, we know how Palace play, we know how we play. We've tried to play against Palace. I think once he went with 3 centre-backs, but generally he's gone the same way each time. And my mate said to me this morning, I'll go into work and he's gone to me, we keep doing the same thing and the same results all the time. Why would you keep playing the same way? As if it was my fault. And I'm just saying, well, this is what the manager wanted to do it. He said, but you're getting the same result every time. And he's right. And I just think you've got to look at the way Palace play now and find a way where we can hurt them a little bit, because it just seems to be we have loads of possession. They break us down once, they nick a goal, and all of a sudden we're chasing the game, and then the game is more or less done and dusted. And there are teams that will do that for you. But as a manager, you've got to find a solution, a way to hurt them before they can hurt you. And like in my day, there were teams that would get Norwich, were one of them, would always beat you. That somehow they always find a way. They'd nick a goal at the death, but it wasn't tactical. Now it's so tactical. Things like that shouldn't really happen.
No, it's odd, isn't it? Because like you say, it's not like he hasn't tried other things to try and combat what Palace bring, and it, they've lost players as well. They've lost really good players, yet they've turned up to Villa again and done another job on us. And I don't know. It blows my mind. James, what do you think about the transfer window?
But sometimes haven't the players got to stand up and be counted? And I mean, look at the Palace defender, Garry, last night.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting him to put it in the top corner last night, were you?
I don't think he was, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, but he had a go, and it paid off. So our lot aren't even having a go. And I mean, apart from Matty Cash's one over the bar, but
No, it's frustrating, isn't it? Where do you stand on the Emiliano Martinez situation now that he hasn't got his move? Would you welcome him back, first game back at Villa Park, running towards the old end? What do you think the reception's going to
be? Well, football, if he plays for Villa, I'll support him, whatever. That's Unai is cool. If Unai is happy for him to be playing and he thinks he's 100% committed, that's fair enough for me. So, I mean, the last couple of days hasn't sat well, but he could quite easily have done what Isak and mate at Brentford have done and sat out for a good month and moaned, but he sat out yesterday.
Yeah, I think that was probably his biggest mistake, was not playing last night. Yeah. Whether his agent's given him duff information, has told him this deal is definitely going to happen tomorrow, and he didn't want to risk it. Which I suppose, as a professional footballer, you ain't going to risk getting injured, are you? If you think you've got to move.
Why did he play against Brentford?
I don't know. Maybe, like I say, maybe he just got that information through that. This deal was basically done and dusted, and United have just swiveled at the last minute and gone for this other keeper. And left him high and dry. I imagine he's had a few choice words to Manchester United, because it has left him in a bit of an awkward position, hasn't it, Gaz?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, it happened so suddenly, because the end of last season, there was rumours he was going, and there was things happening, and all of a sudden it was all nullified. He wasn't going to go, and then all of a sudden, like you say, there was rumours and the story about Man United going to sign Lemons, the goalkeeper. Then all of a sudden, they might be interested in Martinez. Martinez might be going to Turkey as well. But then to drop out the game, And let's be fair, as a goalkeeper, you've got less chance to get yourself hurt, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
so I was very surprised because my mate was texting me in the morning. So Martinez is not in the squad. He's not going to play. I'm like, behave. And he was saying, oh, with the window and that. I'm like, why would you drop out? But it does appear he's had bad information. They've obviously felt that this deal was going to go through at Man United. The word was he was maybe trying to force a move through. Didn't happen. And fans are very forgiving. So, like, if he comes and he has a go and he shows he wants to play for Villa again, then everyone will just move on. He'll take a bit of stick, but he'll move on because
Do you think he'd be
we all
inclined
the
to
best.
get rid of his agent?
Yeah, well, I think if you get advice like that and you get told,
poor advice, isn't it?
which I think is bad advice anyway, not to play the game of football. There's a chance to play football. These are your teammates. These are people you see more than your family. You see them every day, and then one day you go, nah, I can't do it today. I can't be. But you're not injured. You're playing because you're not in the right frame of mind.
Well, he's failed him twice, really, hasn't he? Because he's obviously his job was to get him the move, which he's failed to do, and then he's probably I can't imagine anyone else has told him that his agent that's his job. You know, you can't play tonight. The move's
when
on.
he's trying at the end of last season, he obviously felt that this was his last game at Villa Park as well.
Yeah.
So he as you say, that could be 3 times now. For me, much as you love people, if I get that information 3 times and I've ended up the situation's not happened how I want it to happen, then he's going to get the curly finger. We got to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think he'll get that when he comes back from international duty. So,
what did you think to the European draw, Gary?
I've not really looked at it. I mean, I know we got Bologna the first game, and we got just trying to think the other clubs we got. But
try and get it up while you're talking.
Yeah, whack it up there. But yeah, it looks all right. I mean, Unai is renowned for the Europa League as well, so to do well in that. So, like, I think whoever we got a fighting chance. We look like if we can get ourselves moving again, we look like we could go deep into the competition. But this is Unai's competition, as it were. He's won it a few times as well. So you'd be very disappointed or very surprised if we don't do well in this competition. People are already saying, "Oh, the Premier League season's done for us." Like, there's only a couple of games gone. We're going to do what Spurs did last year and just put all our eggs in that basket. You can't ever do that. What you got to do is make sure you try and win every game. But Europa League would be a massive bonus for us.
Right.
I mean, it was different for Spurs and Man United because they were never going to go down.
Yeah.
So there's your draw. We'll just move that off there. So Salzburg, I think that's away, isn't it? The first one. Weirdly, I haven't got the homes and aways on there. Oh yeah, it's at home. Yes, it's got the little house on it, hasn't it? Salzburg at home, Feyenoord away, Maccabi Tel Aviv at home, Fenerbahce away, Young Boys at home, Basel away, Bologna at home, Go Ahead Eagles away. Now, it looks like the home games seem to be easier than away. I don't fancy going to Fenerbahce. Do you, Gaz? Are you going with WM?
Probably not. I'm doing it from the studio, to be honest. Like, but to be honest, like you look at that draw. Like, it's not the hardest draw in the world. It's not the worst draw in the world. No. And as long as we can get ourselves going again, and especially we lost at home. That's the first time we lost at home for a year, isn't it? Oh, just over a year.
It was
so we just got to get back. Just get back on the horse. We'll be fine. Yeah.
So have you? What I was going to ask Simon, and I pretty much know what he would have said. But how do you rate the window out of 10, James?
If we get all them 3, I'll be happy. So we'll go with 8 out of 10 because it can always be better.
Right, 8 out of 10. Tomo, how do you rate it?
Yeah, I'd have to say more or less, 7 out of 10. I think it's been quite good. I would have liked us to maybe get another body in there. And people keep going on about.
If I could offer you one more signing, you haven't particularly got to name a player, but if I offered you, the window's just open for an hour, Tomo, you've got the chance to sign one more player. Where would you sign that player?
I'd get a centre forward to share the load with Ollie. Because people would also say Matty Cash at full back at position as well. But really, if anything happens to Ollie Watkins, we will be very, very blunt. Because I know Gustavo can play up there.
That's why you're talking. Now, this basically gives us what the window has done for Villa.
Right.
I'm just going to do this if it starts up again. Obviously, it don't work when you want it to. So. So this basically will bring up all Villa's players, and this is how deep our squad is now. So if we look at this So this is our depth now. So Martinez obviously has been retained. Bizzo, they're the two keepers. You got
Right.
Dean and Matson left backs. Cash Garcia, and we'll put Rowe over here because basically these are the young kids that will be needed if, and there were a lot of them were on the bench yesterday. So I think now we can add Lindelof in now to the right centre back role. So we've been left with 5 decent centre backs. Torres, Mings, Bogard can obviously play there. If we put him there, because he can also play midfield.
Yeah.
So 2 options at right centre back, 2 options at left centre back. The midfield looks pretty strong, but we knew that anyway. We haven't lost anyone. Tielemans, Kamara, McGinn, Anana, Barkley, who I did expect to lead but hasn't, and young Hemmings, who came on. I think it was Hemmings last night, wasn't it? And then Rogers, Buendia, Marlon, and Gassan. And now you can add in Harvey and Sancho. So even that's starting to look very strong there now,
That's
isn't
right,
it?
yeah.
But
It's just centre forward, isn't it?
Here, isn't it? So who else? So let's hypothetically, Watkins can't play for some reason. Who plays up top now for Villa?
Well, I mean, I saw the podcast he did, and I thought Gassan can do the job there.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers can do it as well, but he always looks
Marlon?
uncomfortable. Marlon's the obvious one because he has played. He started off as a centre forward, so he would be the obvious choice for me. But Gassan's body shape and all that implies, and he's quick and he chases things, that he could do the centre forward one. But really, you'd want to get one in there just in case anything does happen to Ollie, and maybe he needs a rest every now and again.
Yeah, I think Gassan probably now looks to be the backup striker now. I mean, obviously Redmond's gone now to Huddersfield on loan. Ealing Jr.'s gone to Albion. Is that a good signing for
That's
Albion?
right.
My mate Nick is watching tonight. He's an Albion fan. He sneaked in, Gaz, but he's a big Albion fan. So say hello to Nick for me because I know he's a big fan of you.
Hello, Nick. How you doing? You all right?
Leon Bailey's obviously gone. Gauchi's gone on loan as well.
Yeah.
And Ramsey's gone. So how do you look at that squad now and think, do you think that it's not too bad, is it really?
Well, to be fair, I felt all day, I felt that we were light, even getting these bodies in. But now looking at that squad there, as you say, apart from cover at centre forward, and we have got cover of a fashion at centre forward, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it so much easier when you can visualise it and look at it. I thought I'd do that just to give everyone a look. What do you think, James? Are you happy with the squad now?
Yeah, I was just thinking, we still got that young Wilson.
Yes, he's in the 21s, isn't he? The young Scottish striker. Yeah. I think he's just come back from injury,
Would there be a chance of him getting minutes in the first team?
Probably not, but I mean, if he suddenly starts absolutely banging him in the 21s, then there's always a chance. And I know Unai does like to push a few of the 21s into the first team group regularly as well. So he's got the opportunity to have a go.
Because this is what we want now: is the youngsters to step up, don't we?
Look, we all love a youngster coming through, don't we? Yeah. Right, James. Thanks very much. We better move on because we've got other people.
But quick to say, sorry about all the abuse you're getting, Justin. you don't deserve it.
I'm a big boy. I can take it. Honestly, I'm all right.
There's plenty of Villa fans out there that love what you do. So
that's very kind of you, mate.
Thank you to both you and Gary.
Take it easy. Nice one.
Up the Villa.
It's okay because Unai's watching, Gary. He said, "Good evening. Don't worry, everyone. I have it under control." Marco Bizzo. I mean, that was a brilliant interview he gave yesterday, wasn't it? When he just kept saying, Marco Bizzo. Marco Bizzo.
Fair play.
Fair play to him. Right. Okay. So the phone is now free if you want to phone in. We'll probably just keep it going for a bit longer. Oh, here we go. See who we've got here. Press the right button. It might help. Hello. Who's this?
Yeah, mate. Dave from up in the North East. Spoke to you a couple of times.
How are you, Dave? You okay, mate? Say hello to Tomo.
Yeah. Hello, Tomo. You all right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, sound.
Good.
So what are you thinking about? What do you want to talk about? The game or the window? Where are you at?
Well, we'll have a bit of both.
Go on then. The game.
I keep repeating myself. Said it the last couple of weeks. It wasn't great, was it?
No. Do you know what was frustrating, Dave? And I don't know whether you felt this. I've been crying out for that front four all season, and then he picks it, and we're still sort of put in a similar kind of performance, so we can't even excuse that now, can we?
Well, that's it. Yeah, we wanted that team against Brentford, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was, that was the front three we wanted against Brentford. I was wondering if we've been found out a little bit. Sort of the mid to lower table teams know exactly how to play against us. The low block and
low
catch
block
us on the back.
That's what's killing me now, the low block. I don't know whether you agree, Gary. You obviously watch the games. You're there for WM, do the commentaries.
Yeah.
But I highlighted this against the way Glasner sets up brilliantly, and he's also very, very tactically aware in-game changes. But he does like to sort of the low block, but narrow as well. So 4-5-1, and it's almost like just break us down. And this is why we're seeing us having a lot of possession up to the penalty box. Teams sitting, they sit narrow, so the 4 defenders sit inside the 18-yard box. The 5 midfielders almost fan out and shield them, and then the centre forward just does a little bit, helping out wherever he can. And then we get to the edge, and I think this feeds into what you were saying earlier. Because we're moving the ball so slowly, it gives the opposition time to get set, to get back, set up your 4-5-1, and then you've got to almost be like prime Barca when they had Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Pedro, all them players that could pick a lock easily. And we haven't got that lock unpicker, have we?
And also the fact that when you try and thread a ball through or try and move the ball and try and pierce the opposition, as it were, they know they've got someone like Mateta who's hovering around sort of 10 yards inside his own half line. But if they can get the ball to him, he controls the ball. He blends it back into play. He doesn't give it away. And that way, the likes of Munoz and all them get on their bike and they know he's going to retain the ball. The likes of Wharton can come and join in, and then they can play people in. It's a great weapon to have. You've got centre forward holds the ball up. All of a sudden, you can play. You can play off him. He's reliable, and that gives them the chance to break out at pace.
This good shout here. Why did we stop playing the high line then? Because that sort of counters it, surely.
I mean, I'm not there. I mean, I look at what most teams play a high line nowadays.
Yeah.
But you find that as they do the low block, you get, because you try and squeeze them, you end up playing a ridiculously high line. You're practically on the halfway line, and when it breaks down, you're in an awful lot of trouble. Then you need to give yourself depth. Most defenders now, I just looked at the Man City goal the other day. Any defender, you got to give yourself a little bit of depth every now and again. You cannot be that close on the line because then it's a massive gamble.
Yeah. So what do you think about the window, Dave?
Yeah.
Thought you'd gone to sleep then, Dave. Thought Gary had put you to sleep.
No, I was listening to the
I wasn't talking.
So yeah, the window. I like the look of Harvey Elliott. Obviously, he's a cracking player. From a young age, he's been one that's been earmarked as being, future England international. And he could a good season, and he could play a big part in the World Cup, wouldn't he?
He could, yeah. He could definitely get into that England squad. I think that they've really looked to push the 21s into the England squad. We've seen that a lot over the last 18 months, 2 years, and he's definitely one of the standout under 21s at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see if he does get a run in the Villa side. And then maybe that was his thinking. They need to play regularly, don't they, Gary? They can't get an England squad unless they're playing regularly, can they?
Exactly. I mean, just talking about Margay moving to Liverpool, they're worried he'd not get enough football.
Yeah.
Leading into the tournament as well. So this has probably worked out in his favour. Obviously, not in Palace's because they've lost 35 million quid, but you need to play regular. And so Harvey Elliott's looked at it, and it's a great opportunity for him to play in the Premier League, play with a good club, good players and get games under his belt. He could be knocking on the door. He's had a great summer, a great tournament. He just needs to keep going there.
Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gone the other two. Yeah, Lindelof, plays right centre back, play right back. Sancho, there's a little bit of a question mark over him, but he comes good. Emery's the sort of manager that makes these sort of players, isn't he? With a point to prove, a reputation, getting their careers back on track. That he's the exact sort of player that Emery's going to mould you. Well, that's what you hope for.
No, I agree. I think you look at, especially under the circumstances we've had this summer. So our money situation has hampered everything. I've no question whatsoever that our owners would have bought anybody that Emery wanted this summer, should they have been allowed to? And I heard something interesting, which I'll come on to in a minute. But I think with the money we've had to spend, I think it couldn't have gone much better today. Because we've brought in two very good players. One outstanding in Elliott, who's I think pretty much ready. Sancho, we all know there's a question mark there, but there's a player there. And I think the Lindelof one, I like it more the more I think about it, because unless you go out and let's say unless Villa went out and broke the bank for Gay, which we couldn't do financially, like a player that potentially could just oust Ezri Konsa because he's good enough to. Nobody else, a 20, 30, 40 million pound player probably isn't going to get in ahead of Konsa at his best. So you've got to bring someone that's prepared to sit, wait, and needed can play, which Longley did. And I loved the Longley signing. I thought he was really good for us at the time. So I think, given the money we've got, I think it's an interesting signing. Yeah,
it took a hell of a player to replace Konsa, to be honest. You know,
and if he's fit and he's available, he plays, doesn't he? So who's going to sit on the bench?
Yeah, you've got to play him. He's our best centre half, really, isn't he? You know, there's.
So what's your ranking out of 10 for the window now it's shut?
I'd probably go for a 7. I mean, as you've hit the nail on the head there. The CSR, PSR thing really hampered us. There's absolutely no doubt about that, and maybe they'll start looking at changing that now, because there's been a lot of noise, obviously, out of us and the likes of Newcastle. So hopefully, you know, as much as there's a reason behind it to protect clubs from going under, with the likes of us and Newcastle with our ownership, it's not going to be a factor, is it? Because, you know, we can almost sort of guarantee that the money is there. Well, it's not like it's some chance from China. It's, you know, it's reputable businessmen with track records of making a lot of money and wanting to put it into a sports team.
I mean, I see it from both sides. I think the argument to scrap it all is concerning, because I think then you would get like a state-owned club like Newcastle who could potentially just go and buy everyone and not care. They could just buy everybody for 200 million quid, give them all 300 grand a week, have a squad full of 35 players. Nobody could ever win anything. So I understand the rules have to a point stop that happening, but there's got to be some middle ground somewhere where clubs that have got owners that want to invest and want to push their clubs forward can, if they want to. And I heard a really interesting thing on 5 Live earlier, which was, I'm going on Tony Livesey's show at 10:30 tonight to talk about the Villa, and that they were saying that Christian Purslow was on earlier, and he feels like that the big clubs have sort of got the inkling that the rules are going to change in the next 18 months and 2 years. And that's why they've all gone so big in the market now. While they've got this advantage, and while they can spend the money and nobody else can, this is why the likes of Liverpool have just gone out and spent £400 million and bought a load of good young players up. Because if the rules change and the likes of Liverpool and Newcastle can suddenly spend big, then it puts those clubs in jeopardy then, doesn't it? So that's a very interesting argument. I don't know how true it is, but I mean, he's certainly close to quite a few things, isn't he? What do you think about that, Tomo?
That's food for thought. I mean, I never thought that situation. But I mean, all of a sudden, it kind of makes sense, because I mean, Spurs spent money, Arsenal spent a ridiculous amount of money, Liverpool spent a ridiculous amount of money, and I'll keep looking and thinking, how can I keep doing that?
The big six, if you like, you know, the ones we always say.
I mean, it does seem as if maybe, as you say, they've had the word that this might change. I mean, was it last year Villa was saying, hang on a minute, you can only lose, say, 103 million or whatever it is over so many years. And Villa was saying, if you add inflation into that, it's 130 million or 140. And they said, no, they weren't having that. But all of a sudden, it kind of makes sense that maybe they know something else coming down the line, because it's a ridiculous amount of expense.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the clubs that have spent: Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, Man City. Who else have missed out? Somebody else, one of the big six. Anyway, that's right.
There you go.
Right, thanks
Man United
for the call. Man United, that's it.
Yeah, always good to chat.
And you, mate. Up the
Nice one.
All right, up the Villa.
Right, we've got our first WhatsApp call of the evening. Right, let's see if I can get him on. See, I've just nearly cut him off then. That was good, wasn't it? Roadcaster. Hello. Hello? Somebody is reconnecting. We're reconnecting. No. Has he gone? He's gone. This is live. This is live on the radio. This is... Hello.
Oh, you're in.
Hello,
Who's this?
Steve from Cannock.
All right, Steve. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, yours?
Yes, he lives around the corner, Gaz. So he just...
Oh, right.
Just jump over the fence and start. How you doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, not too bad, you?
Yeah, good.
You're
Thank
good?
you. Yes, I'm all right, mate. Yes. Hello to Tomo.
Hello, Tomo, you all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, good, mate, good.
So what we're talking about
I
the
just
game,
wanted to-
or go on, you carry on.
Well, yeah, I think more the game. I think, obviously, the first few callers have touched on the window, and I think you guys have, and I think that they're three really positive acquisitions. My only criticism to it is we need, and I know it's circumstances dictate sometimes, but we need to be doing some of this business a little bit earlier. We needed these players before the game yesterday, but look, I do appreciate, it's especially PSR and all that. It's a fine balance, so I do factor that in. But yeah, yesterday I just thought the body language was poor, and it was from start to finish. Even when we were on top, I still didn't feel like we was going to score. We didn't, although we dominated possession. As Tomo said earlier, it was a bit of back and forth and sideways. Which, look, I'm actually a fan of the possession based football to a certain degree. But like before, we would have players that would penetrate and play through the lines, where we're not doing that at the moment, which is the concern. So yes, every manager has a philosophy, and obviously Unai sticks to that, which is good in some respects. I think he does need a plan B sometimes, but yeah, I just want to pick on the Pau Torres. I think he does. Don't get me wrong; every player has their strengths and weaknesses, but he's one of the most technically gifted centre halves in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by that is he's got the ability to play them passes into midfield to get us on the attack, where obviously, yes, vulnerable for pace, but that's where I think he needs like a Konza and a Matson next to him that can kind of dig him out of those situations. If that makes sense.
No, I think it makes perfect sense. Do you think it's time then? I'll ask this Tomo first. That Unai not changed his whole philosophy, because he's not going to do that, but it evolved now to maybe a little bit. Maybe continue with the slow playing out from the back, which he likes to draw the team onto, which tries to open up the pockets of space. You understand the philosophy of it. You play out slowly from the back, you draw the other team towards you. But what we're not doing, the second part of that, is hitting people quickly on the break, pace, playing through the lines, doing all this that creates the spaces with the players that can either run at people or run past people and the ability to find them. Is it time for him to evolve now?
You just used the word. I was doing a commentary yesterday, and I said when you and I first walked in here, we were goal difference of being in the bottom three. Shut up shop. We defended. We kept the ball. We moved the ball very slowly, but we moved the ball with a purpose. And now we play, but without a purpose. And now, once we start doing that, and the word you've used is right, we have to evolve. We played the same way. We got ourselves into the Conference League. All of a sudden, we did well in the league, and we got better and better and better. But we haven't really evolved that much. Now, any great manager, Unai is a great manager, knows that you can't keep playing the same way. So he's got to add bits and take bits away, and just look at it now and say, yeah, okay, we can improve on that. We can maybe take that away. We don't need to do that. You have to evolve to become a better coach. And he is a fantastic coach. If you look from where he came from to the point he's at now, he's done an unbelievable job. But we've got to the point now where teams know how we play. If we move the ball slowly, it's easy to defend against. So therefore, you have to speed it up every now and again. Always play with a purpose. It's all about defending your goal and trying to score in theirs. Everything else is paraphernalia. But if you got the ball and you move really slowly, they're always going to be protected. You can't break into their defence, as it were. You can't pierce their lines. But if you move the ball quickly at times, just slow, quickly, slow, you just mix it up a little bit. Yeah. And all of a sudden you can catch them. But if you play the same way all the time, and it boom, 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 goes back. So it's easy. A team like Palace can just say, okay, let's sit back in, get back into shape quickly. All right, break us down. And the chances are...
we've had so much possession, like that
exactly.
momentum.
Yeah.
It looks like full of momentum, but it's not, because it gets 3/4 way up the pitch and then we hit a brick wall.
Yeah. I mean, when our centre backs and our goalkeeper and our fullback have more touches than anybody else on the pitch, then you know something's wrong. We have to get the ball into players that, like Sancho plays. He has to get the ball as much as humanly possible. Gassan's got to get the ball as much as humanly possible. Rodgers, so because they're the ones who can unlock a door for us, so we can get the ball to Watkins, so he can score goals. If my fullback and my centre backs and my goalkeeper are having more touches than anybody else, then there's something wrong.
Yeah, Steve.
Agreed, mate. I think you guys hit the nail on the head, and I think a great example of that is when we played Man City last couple of seasons at home. You look at the subtle differences. Now, we still played the same way, but out of possession, the was completely different. Now, I know you can't play that every week because players will be knackered, but I think those little subtle changes is where he needs to be a bit more adaptable. A lot of teams know how we play, they know what we're going to do, and they do exactly what you said, Sam. They sit in the low block, wait for us to make a mistake, pounce on it, or it's on the break, and where we're vulnerable, and then that's where it hurts us. Where sometimes, like yesterday, it might not have worked. Why not just go? And again, it's not always a formation change, but just something different. Like, let's just attack with pace and power and precision, and just see if we can just get balls in the box to Ali and see what happens. And he might miss a couple, but he might put one or two away as well.
Do you think? Yeah, and I think you make some great points, Steve. Do you think we're a victim of the transfer window? And what I mean by that is, because it's gone on in a month into the season, we've had probably the most hectic windows because of the situation we found, and we seem to be the only team in the Premier League that's had to deal with what we've had to deal with. So with all the upheaval, with the Ramsey deal and the players seemingly not unhappy, but a bit annoyed with how that's went, and then it seems that people are a little bit annoyed with Martinez, not angling for a move, that with the window closing now, that we've had 3 games where there's been so much talked about off the pitch that they almost look drained before they start each game. But now the window's closed, we've got a good 2-week break. Everybody's in who's in. Everybody's gone who's gone. We can almost reset and start again. Tomo, do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Evan and I was saying about our season starting after the window, and a couple of managers have said the same sort of thing. I was saying earlier today, I believe
before the season.
That's what should happen. We did it once before, but apparently the European clubs the window was still open, so players could still move. Right. Everybody, university the window has to close at the same time, and that way we all got say like 10 days or 2 weeks before the season starts. That way you can work with the players you got. You can have your mad rush to get your players in or whatever. Most people want to do their business early, but as it so happens, and it's good for TV, you end up getting the window that we always get with Sky and all that game. But okay, fair enough. But do it before the season starts, and that gives everyone a level playing field.
Yeah, I think Weston's just said this as well. We've been discussing the window stays open. It unsettles everyone, it does. So let's make it, surely it can't be that hard to have it as a blanket window across the whole of Europe, because we've got this issue now where you've got the Saudi League window still open. The Turkish League is the window open. They seem to be throwing money in Turkey these days. You know, there's so many players going over there. So we've still got this issue where we could still lose 1 or 2 players before, and we've got no chance of replacing them. So that'd be absolutely insane, wouldn't it?
I think yesterday as well, I think everybody alluded to that Martinez was going at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Things really materialised. And I think everyone, including Emmy, was, of the understanding that was it, that the boat had sailed. And then I think, like you said earlier, I think that really unsettled the camp yesterday, where obviously Martinez must have thought he was going, as you said. So he's obviously took his action. And you as your teammates, you would feel let down a little bit. And it shouldn't affect them because they're paid professionals. But the reality is it probably does, because you think, well, and then you also don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Is other players going to go because, there's going to get bids or whatever. And you're thinking, well, what players are going to come in? And I think it was just a big distraction yesterday, which didn't help. But
I just have to lay firmly at Emi Martinez's door. I really do, because you look at Emi Buendia, basically all summer everyone's expecting him to go. I certainly expected him to leave. I think most people did. And even like last night, I think John Townley was reporting it. I think Villa are happy to let him go if a bid comes in. I think someone came in and offered him a loan deal, which was turned down. But he turned up. He was on the bench. He came on and had a decent second half.
He's been one of the best players in pre-season.
He was
Yes.
actually in pre-season, yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
and then you look at his energy yesterday. He came on. He was probably our best player because he just came on. He just tried. He pushed the team up sometimes with his pressing, and I thought he was quite useful on the ball. I was really impressed with Buendia. So he was another point I was going to raise. But one other point I did want to and I don't want to sound like I'm digging Nuno out here, but his substitutions yesterday were really poor. There was really negative. There was all defensive changes pretty much.
There wasn't a lot on the bench, though. I'm not trying to put you through, but we didn't have a lot on the bench, yeah.
But, you brought Pau Torres, and I didn't quite understand that. But, okay, maybe he's thought we'll try and get some balls into the midfield a little bit quicker.
I think the game was gone by that point anyway, wasn't it? It's hard, isn't it? Because I think the one big change was it was a big call, really, to take Cassano off at half time. I mean, he had a bit of an impact when he came against Brentford, but he did look a little bit lost. But again, I looked into him when he came, and he plays off the right, and he played him off the left. It's frustrating, really, but he did look a little bit lost. But yeah, Buendia, I think somebody phoned up last week and said we need a low blocker unlocker, and I thought that'd be Asensio. But Buendia is that type of player, isn't it? Sits in the hole, sits in the pocket, and he just plays another little ball through. But now, hopefully, when we go into the next phase of the season, we've got runners that can run in behind and pace on the break. So these are two issues that we've got to deal with. Where do you rate the window, Steve? Where are you at? Now it's shut.
I would say what you rate out of 10 something.
10, yeah.
I would say it's an 8.5 for me, and I think that's a positive.
It's the biggest one we've had, Tomo.
I think they're 3 really positive signings today.
If we hadn't signed them today, where would it have been at?
I'd have been lucky to get past 4 or 5. I think.
Yeah, I think we all would. Yeah.
I just think that they give us that freshness, something different, something we haven't got. Even Lindelof, he's an experienced player.
It's not a sexy signing, is it? But it's a prudent one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if I said to you that Konza was suspended and he's coming in, I don't think you'd be too concerned.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, I think what's his name? The young kid. What's his bloody name? Tomo.
Who come on yesterday?
No, the centre half playing midfield. Why has my mind gone totally blank? I'm not going to move on to that. Bogart, that's it. I think Bogart had a good pre-season, and a lot of people are saying why isn't he going to be at that right side? But he hasn't got that experience, has he? And if you have a prolonged spell with Konsa out, you want that experience, don't you? I mean, I've just brought up a stat here with all the players that we let go. I mean, only realistically Ramsey and Bailey are out and out first teamers out of that list, but that's a hell of an outgoing list. That is. I looked at that earlier, and that is what they had facing them when the window opened. Yeah, every single one of them players they needed to get rid of, and it ain't easy, is it? It's not like you just flick a switch and the player leaves. All these players are on big money, and they all want to play where they want to play.
I think Barkley and Buendia could have possibly gone. They've still got the right bids for them, but obviously we didn't. And it could be better for us that they haven't gone because it's two players with experience that can add to the squad.
I mean, the two big ones there, the Coutinho and the Dendoncker, they were both on mega money at Villa, and now to get them off the bill. I don't even think what they had to do to get them off the bill, because they probably had to pay up a little bit of their contract. Yeah, so imagine the money they've had to pay them pair just alone to basically agree to go. So you can't. The financial team behind the scenes, I have to take my hat off to them, because they have to get their head around all these figures. And I think Villa fans, I mean, we've all probably played Championship Manager or Football Manager, where you just press a button and you sell a player. That ain't the real life, is it? You've got to. It's a hard thing to, as we've seen with deals that collapse. There's so many aspects to a deal. Did you have an agent, Gary?
Not really. I mean, when we first started, agents there weren't many agents at all.
So who dealt with your moves then? What would be the structure of, like? Was it literally just straight to you?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hear from the press, or you'd get a phone call. My old man, I was just saying about going to the Villa, that the Villa scout used to work at Longbridge. He spoke to my old man and he was saying, "Oh yeah, we're interested in your boy." And I was a commentary at the time. And obviously we've ended up having a conversation on the phone. And then Villa were interested in trying to sign me, but it didn't happen in the end. Coventry refused the offer. But usually you'd hear from press people or family or someone. They contact somebody. And it was only then financial advisors started becoming the go-to people because they looked after all your players' finances, as it were, and they'd be the one you go to. And that's how it evolved into agents from there.
So I mean, your dad was your agent, then goes, did he take a cut?
Oh, you got looked after, yeah. When I went,
Did you?
I joined Coventry, like whatever signing on fee there was, and I was in the reserves at 15, and they were always going to give me an apprentice contract, like, and whatever it was, about 500 quid or whatever. But I never saw any of that. My old man did all right out of that.
Did he straight away, did he? That was nice of him. Steve, thanks ever so much for the call. Is there anything you want to ask Gary?
Can I just ask Gary two questions?
Mate. Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
So here's one for you then, Gary. Who was the best player you played with and played against?
The best player I played with? I'd have to say the most gifted player I ever played with was a kid called Roy Wegley, who played for QPR. He was unbelievable. And I played...
National, wasn't he?
I was at QPR. Was
he American, Roy Wegley?
Yeah. And he was... we're playing the same team as Ray Wilkins, who was phenomenal. Les Ferdinand. I played with Ian Wright, Mark Bright. But one of the most gifted players ever played with was Collymore. Stan Collymore. He played for his country. He's made a fortune. He had a great career. And he was only working, I would say, at 60%. If Stan Collymore had been playing full out, like most of us have to play, Stan Collymore would have been a world great. He was absolutely unbelievable talent.
A few people have said that.
What was your other question, Steve?
Yeah, I'll ask the question.
Sorry, so was Collymore the best player you played with?
Yeah, I'd have to say Roy Wegley was the best footballer I ever played with. But I say best talent I was ever around was Collymore. Collymore was the most gifted player that never made the most of his ability.
If you're a young kid watching this, go and Google Roy Wegley. I totally forgot about Roy Wegley, but Gary's just reminded me of him. What a player he was.
Last one then, who was your best opponent you played against? That you maybe thought, I'm playing against him today, I don't really fancy it, or I'm going to be in for a tough game, or...
The most difficult game we ever had, we used to play Liverpool. In them days, Liverpool beat everybody. And so the likes of myself and Mark Aitney, we'd be up against Hansen and Lawrenson. And obviously Mulby would come off the bench or Gillespie would be there. And all they would do, they'd pass the ball between them, get you chasing, play the ball into midfield. Souness, who was a wonderful footballer as well, he'd get turned on the ball, spray it out wide. He'd go into Dalglish, he'd hold it up, roll it to Ian Rush would score. And it would be football by numbers. And we'd be like, we're chasing our tail off here and we could never get the ball off them. It's like, you played Liverpool at Anfield and basically it was an 85-minute running session because you never got the ball at all.
Just a fitness test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, Steve-O. Thanks for your call, mate.
Cheers. Take care, lads.
Nice one. Take it easy.
Right, we've got the announcement, Gaz. Aston Villa is delighted to announce the signing of Jadon Sancho from Manchester United. The England international joins Villa on a season-long loan. Great. So that's one down. Just got to announce the Harvey Elliott one, and then we are done. Right, Gaz, you okay for time? You're right for one more caller?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you up. I know. No, that was a no caller ID, and we learned a few weeks ago, Gary, we don't answer the phone to no caller IDs. If you want to know why, go and watch the video a couple of weeks ago.
I see.
Right, the phone is free now. We'll get time for one more caller because I don't want to keep Gary. He's had a long day. He's been on the radio. You've been to work today, Gaz, as well?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, but you're knackered, didn't you?
I just do some serious grafting.
You do, mate. You don't stop. If there's no more callers, we'll call it a night. So we've got one more, right? Last caller then. Let's get you on line. Hello.
Hello.
Hiya, who's this?
It's Black Country Villain.
How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, thank
Good
you.
lad.
How are you?
Yes, I'm very good, mate. Say hello to Gary.
Hello, Gary.
How you doing? You right?
Very, very well. I'm doing not too bad, thank you. It's good to speak to you.
some great memories of you at Villa. I was in the sixth form at the time,
Yeah.
and I'd to save the bus fare, I'd just walk from home to and from Villa Park.
Yeah. All right. How far was home?
I live in West Brom, so it's
Right.
Still a
little
distance,
bit
isn't it?
more. Yeah, but it was great though. Great memories.
That's
Good,
great.
nice
Thank
one.
you. I wonder if I could just mention something.
Of course you can.
My uncle passed away on Thursday night, and he's a Albion fan, but obviously he loved you as well when you were at the Albion. Obviously not when you were at Villa.
Oh, yeah.
He loved you when you were at Villa. I just wonder if you could just remember him just for me.
What was his name, mate?
Yeah, what was his name?
Dennis Evans.
Oh, to Dennis Evans, RIP, God bless. But as you say, massive Albion fan, and obviously a lovely fella. He'll be sorely missed.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that. It's just really very, very kind of you
No problem.
to do that. I remember
you
as
doing
well.
all right, are you?
Remember we? Oh yeah, no, I'm not too bad, thank
Good
you.
man.
All the things that you do is great.
I'm just glad you phoned up again.
Yeah, I was thinking, shall I?
Of course you shall. I keep telling you must phone up when you can, mate. Nothing to be scared of.
Oh,
Gary
no,
won't bite.
No, it's really nice. I saw. Do you remember when we played Man City in the League Cup?
Yeah.
I saw Gary. You were working for WM, and I was sitting in the middle part, and I climbed over the seats.
Yeah.
Just said hello to you a bit before the game.
All right.
Yeah, it was. I thought we were done a little bit in that game, but there you go.
We was unlucky, weren't we?
Yeah.
How do you think the wind has gone, mate? You pleased with what we've done today?
Yeah, actually, I think because we've got cover.
Yeah.
And if hopefully the Elliott one goes through, I think it's decent because after the break, I think things will things will get better, and I think we'll start getting a few victories there.
No, I agree, mate. Well, thanks for calling in, mate. What are you ranking the window at? We'll have one more ranking.
Oh, ranking the window.
Out of 10.
Oh, 7.5.
Right. I think we're all about the same.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, mate. Please call again.
Thank you very much for your time. God bless
No
you.
problem. You
Mate.
take it easy.
Your uncle.
God bless.
Ta-ra, mate.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. That's it, Gary. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been absolutely brilliant. I knew it would be because you're a top guy, a good mate, and I appreciate your time. And we will try and do it again at some point, Gary, if you are.
No problem. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's
You
good,
take it
man.
easy, Josh.
Thanks everybody for joining in. We've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people watching. We've had loads of people commenting. Some great calls as we normally do. Some really, really good Villa fans that know their stuff, and it's always great to talk to everyone. We will continue doing this through the season. Hopefully, we'll have a win to talk about at some point, because that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Gary, what do you think then? Where are your season expectations at? Last question for you. Now we've brought these players in, give me some hope going forward.
Yeah, I always felt we was going to end up, I was going to say, about sixth in the league. I think with the way we started, a lot of people have started getting worried about it. I think we're not far off it. We've obviously started off a bit slack, but we will get better. I think the 3 signings we brought in will give us the fillip up till Christmas. I think we'll be okay. My position hasn't changed. I'm still saying we'll finish sixth. And have good cup run as well.
Oh, I'll take that, Gary. I'll snatch your hands off. Don't tell Simon, though. Christ, I'll have to tell him next time he phones up that Gary actually said we're going to finish sixth. He'll have a turn if he says that. Bloody Nora. Right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Please drop this video a thumbs up. Get involved in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And we will see you all again soon for Justin Talks Villa. Thanks a lot, lot.
Nice one. Take it easy.
Up the Villa, Gary.
Cheers. Up the